when it comes on to crypto, Tom, what was the number you said about percentage of Republicans, how they feel about crypto?
Yeah, there is in all the polling. You have issues polling. It's starting to rain down on us as we get closer and closer to the debate stage, and 46% of core Republicans, and they were looking at broad-based, so not city-based, but it was broad-based.
Sure.
Were skeptical of crypto, and only when they give them a 5-point scale of whether you feel positively about something, very positive, positive, neutral, negative, negative. So it's standard Likert 5-point scale. Only 6% of them said they felt positive about crypto, and they had skepticism about it and saw risk in it. So that's an issue for you because in the name of entrepreneurship, you are also bringing that sector. I regard crypto as sort of a sector of a larger entrepreneurial ecosystem.
That's fair.
That comes with it. Every sector's got its risk, and this happens to be tied to financial services. But you have a lot of voters in there that are like, I'm not sure about this, which also can kind of attach to you a little bit.
Yeah, look, I think that's a fair point. For me, the way I look at it is it's an ecosystem play, as you sort of stated it, right? Which is we are number one in the nation in wage growth, right? We've created a ton of high-paying jobs. And part of that is because we've leaned into generational technologies, right? We haven't been afraid of those generational technologies. Like you said, there are risks involved. I often cite the example of Netscape and Napster, right? Everybody remembers Netscape and Napster. They're no longer with us, right? Their companies did not succeed, but what they created changed the world, right? You obviously have Spotify, Apple Music, et cetera, and then you have Google, et cetera. So the initial technologies don't often, or the initial companies don't often succeed, but the technology changes the world. I think with crypto, part of the problem is our elected officials don't understand it, many of them, A. B, they haven't, and this is I think a failure of the Biden administration, they have not created rules to allow people to play on an equal footing and to be domestic companies as opposed to offshore companies, right? And so we've seen what's happened, the sort of disaster there. Not having any rules related to custodying assets, which is what banking rules are, right? Sort of basic rules. It doesn't matter whether it's a cryptocurrency or otherwise, it's an asset. You've got to have rules on how you custody that asset, what you can do with those customer assets. No rules as to whether some things are regulated by the commodities exchange or whether they're regulated by the SEC. Right? I mean, so you have a lot of vagueness in terms of the products that you create.
Yeah, what class does this live in?
Exactly. And so you have not created an inviting environment. You're now starting to see Republican congressmen, Emmer, which is the majority whip, and others be very pro-crypto. And even Democrats are becoming more pro-crypto now because I think they realize how many people have crypto accounts. So I don't know how old that particular poll is that you're talking about.
It's coming right now.
You were saying it's going to come out now.
No, it's coming in the last 3 days as these issues.
Right. Can
I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can I put you on the debate stage?
Yeah, of course.
Mayor Suarez.
Of course you want to be on the
Mayor Suarez, you're paid in crypto, so obviously you have some affinity and you've tried to attract it to your city.
Yeah.
What would you say to the American voter that is still skeptical about it?
I would say that things like artificial intelligence, things like cryptocurrencies, things like quantum computing are going to redefine the future. If I can find a way to prevent my child from being a lot of time on this thing, then maybe we can have a different conversation. But the truth is that we can stick our head in the sand and pretend like it doesn't exist. It's not going to benefit our children. And I'm running for president because I want to create prosperity for the maximum number of Americans. And the only way to do that is not to be afraid of the future, but to lean into the future.
Here's what, by the way, great answer. Here's what I would say to you. I think crypto community is a political party. I don't know how big it is, but it is a political party, and whoever wins it. Sometimes, Mayor Giuliani ran for president 2004. What was the year when he ran? 04 or 2000? One of those years when he ran. And he was way ahead of his time. That some of the stuff that he said, if he would have ran 10 years later, 16 years later, he would have won. Or, a lot of people talked about that. But some of the stuff he talked about wasn't yet bought. Was there one prior to this, by the way? Can you check if there was a campaign prior to this? So for me, crypto, you're seeing what happened with NFTs. There's a lot of people that are just not fans of NFTs. Crypto, Bitcoin ain't going away. The convention is here every year in Miami. It's craziness. You go there all the time.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.